You know the feeling. The chart opens, the analysis is crystal clear, time seems to slow down. You execute the entry without hesitation, you manage the risk perfectly, you exit exactly at the target. You feel no stress, no fear, no greed, just a calm, focused engagement with the market. That, my friends, is the flow state. Flow state is the psychological peak of performance, defined as a state where the challenge of a task perfectly matches your skill level, leading to deep immersion and enjoyment. In trading, this means your discipline is effortless and your performance is maximized. The truth is, flow state isn't luck, and it's not a mystical experience reserved for genius traders. It is a systematic process that you can engineer. This video is going to give you the 3 non-negotiable rules for preparing your environment and mind, allowing you to consistently enter the trading zone. This framework will turn your best trades from rare events into your normal, everyday execution. The first non-negotiable rule for flow state is achieving the challenge skill balance. This is the mental prerequisite for entering the zone. High volatility and high risk aren't required to feel challenged. The psychological truth is that flow only occurs when the challenge of the task is slightly above but not overwhelming your current skill level. If the challenge is too high, for example, you are risking too much or trading complex options you don't fully understand, the result is anxiety and panic. If the challenge is too low, for example, trading on a demo account or risking pennies, the result is boredom and distraction. Neither anxiety nor boredom allows for flow. Both pull you out of the present moment and into your thoughts. The sweet spot is the flow channel, where the task requires your full attention but doesn't induce fear. Here's the fix: the optimal risk calibration. You must calibrate your risk to keep the challenge precisely within the flow channel. Identify your emotional pain threshold, APT. This is the maximum dollar loss you can take on a single trade without experiencing a spike in panic, anger, or fear. For most traders, this is when the risk is below 1% of the account. Once you know your APT, you set your optimal risk size at about 80% of that threshold. This ensures the trade is challenging enough to keep you focused and eliminate distractions, the boredom zone, but not so challenging that a small pullback triggers overwhelming anxiety, the panic zone. You are deliberately engineering the right level of psychological pressure. The second rule for flow state is creating the zero distraction field. This is the essential environmental prerequisite. Here's a lie you tell yourself: I can trade while checking my phone, listening to a podcast, or answering emails. The psychological truth is that flow requires uninterrupted, concentrated focus. Any internal or external distraction acts as a flow breaker, instantly fragmenting your attention and pulling you back into the conscious, slow process of decision-making. Flow is a fragile, deep state. A single notification, a phone beep, a ding from an email is enough to sever the deep connection between your mind and the chart, costing you critical seconds of reaction time and introducing emotional variance. The fix is the sensory deprivation routine. You must ruthlessly eliminate all sensory inputs not related to your trading screen. Before every trading session, perform the 3-step sensory deprivation routine. 1. Visual clear-out. Shut down all screens not running your trading platform or data feed. Remove non-essential items from your desk. Clutter is visual noise. 2. Auditory lockdown. Put your phone on airplane mode. Use noise-canceling headphones, preferably with binaural beats or pure concentration tracks, not music with lyrics. Silence is the sound of concentration. 3. Internal isolation. Complete your pre-flight check, as discussed in previous videos, to settle internal questions. What is my risk? What is my bias? Before engaging the market. Internal chatter is the worst distraction. By creating this zero distraction field, you are telling your subconscious mind, this is the only thing that exists right now. This concentration is the fertile ground for flow to take root.
The third rule for flow state is establishing the immediate feedback loop. This is the crucial execution prerequisite. Here's a lie you tell yourself. I'll analyze the trade and the result later in my journal. The psychological truth is, flow requires you to know in real time how well you are performing and how the task is progressing. This instant clarity allows your mind to make subconscious adjustments seamlessly. In trading, the feedback is complex. Is the price action valid? Is my entry point optimal? If you don't get clear, instant feedback on whether your rule following is successful, your mind stalls and flow is broken. The fix is the rule-based micro-assessment. You must turn your trading rules into a continuous, real-time assessment system. Immediately after entering a trade, ask yourself two simple, objective questions that provide instant feedback. 1. Am I currently in the statistical sweet spot? For example, is the price still respecting the 20 MA as my rule demands? 2. Have I followed every rule for this trade? Yes or no? If the answer to both is yes, you receive positive feedback and you continue the execution effortlessly. If the answer to question 1 is no, you receive negative feedback, signaling that you must exit based on your rule. This process removes subjectivity. It replaces emotional analysis, I feel scared, with objective, rule-based assessment. The 20 MA has been broken. Rule 7 is violated. This continuous objective feedback is the core mechanism that keeps your mind deeply engaged in the flow channel. To fully grasp the power of flow, think about the master archer. The amateur archer is consumed by internal chatter. Will I miss? What if the wind blows? I hope I don't embarrass myself. They are anxious, distracted, and their shot is erratic. They are not in flow. The master archer stands at the line. They are not focused on the arrow's flight path, the uncontrollable market outcome. They are focused only on the controllable process, the feel of the bowstring, the stillness of their body, the release point. The challenge, hitting the bullseye, is met by their skill, perfect form. There is no past, no future, only the perfect present moment of execution. This is your job in trading, to perfect the process, the setup, the entry, the risk, and then trust the market to reveal the outcome. The flow state is the perfect form of execution. All right, let's wrap up the 3 non-negotiable rules for achieving flow state in trading. You now know how to engineer this peak performance. 1. The challenge skill balance protocol. Calibrate your risk to your EPT. 2. The zero distraction field. Eliminate all sensory noise. 3. The immediate feedback loop. Use rules for real-time objective assessment. Here's a key takeaway. Flow state is the result of preparation, not luck. When your environment and your mind are perfectly aligned, discipline becomes automatic, and maximum performance is the inevitable result. If this framework is the edge you needed to consistently enter the trading zone, hit the like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.